Hey everybody, it's Brooke with The Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. You know, a long time ago, my sweet mama gave me probably one of the best tools that I've ever used in my kitchen, and that was my electric pressure cooker. So she gave me mine, it was either in 2014 or 2015, and I'll admit I was scared of it. A lot of times pressure cookers, especially if you grew up like me in the 70s, you have this big, scary, old-timey pressure cooker that was extremely hot, made a lot of noise and bumped and spit and did all that stuff. So the whole negative connotation with pressure cooker comes from that and sometimes intimidates people. So I got mine out of the box and I did the water test. So if you have one and you haven't used it, be sure you do that water test. It'll make you feel a lot better. And then one of the first things that I learned to do in it was to make my life a lot easier and cook our frozen vegetables that we put up every summer. So one of the very first recipes that I ever shared in my Instant Pot at the Buttered Home was how to make peas and butter beans in it. And today we're going to show you how to do that. Okay, so in the liner pot that comes with your pot, what we do is we place our frozen, and today we're using butter beans. Now this method is the same for peas or butter beans. So the cook times are the same. Everything is all just alike. And these are still frozen. I've let them sit out for just a minute just so that they're easier to get out of the bag. Because sometimes whenever I get them out of the freezer, they're a little hard to get out of the freezer bag. So we put them in there just like that, frozen and all. And then we add in, and y'all, this really is the secret. And you can do this with ham hocks or with smoked turkey legs. But over in the meat section, you can a lot of times find smoked turkey and smoked ham hocks and smoked turkey legs and wings. But ham and butter beans to me just kind of goes together. So we're going to put that good meaty ham hock in there. And then we are going to add in a little bit of salt. And we like just about a teaspoon. You don't really need a whole lot because that ham hock is salty. And then about a teaspoon of pepper. And we're using about 4 cups of butter beans. Let me just put just a tad more of that salt in there. And then to that, we just simply add about 2 cups of vegetable broth. Which for me is about half of a container. You don't need much because these actually cook off a lot of liquid. Then we place this into our base of our Instant Pot. We close the lid and make sure it's locked, seal the vent, and then we set it to pressure cook for 4 minutes. That's it, 4 minutes. When it's done cooking, I like to turn the unit off and then allow it just to sit for about 10 or 15 minutes and let some of that pressure naturally release. And then I take a long spoon and open up the vent and let the remaining pressure come out. Then we will come back and we will show you how we finish these beautiful butter beans. So stay with us. Okay, everybody, we are back. So one of the things, if you're new to electric pressure cooking, that I did want to mention is that while I give you a 4-minute cook time, it's usually probably more like 10 to 15 minutes. What happens is the liquid inside of the pot starts to boil and starts to make steam. It's sealed and contained, so the steam makes a circular motion and causes the food to cook faster and more efficiently. But when I say a 4-minute cook time, it really is only about 15 minutes. Now, when you take that and you compare that to 45 minutes on top of the stove, it still is a time saver. Now, what we've done is we have allowed our unit to sit for just about 5 or 10 minutes. Now, I'm going to show you, and it's probably going to be hard to see, but right here is your pressure pin. On most models have this. Mine comes up just a tad and kind of sticks up where it's not flush with the top of the unit. Some units have like a red thing that just pops up just a little, but it just dropped. So that's what you're looking for the pressure to naturally release. When that pressure goes down in the pot, the pin will drop. Now, before you open it, you still need to open your valve. And I do this with a long spoon just in case there's any remaining steam in the pot, and allow that to release. I always do that before I open the unit. Then we carefully turn the unit counterclockwise and open it up. And there's a lot of condensation in here and it's very hot, so be careful whenever you do that. Most units have these little handles on the side with a slot in them, and the lid will fit down securely in there. So that's nice to have. So now I'm gonna fish out this ham hock, and you can do one of two things, okay? This is mostly for flavor because you're getting that bone marrow and the smoked goodness of that ham hock. But I like to shred it and put it back in the butter beans. So we're gonna allow that to sit just a minute and kind of cool off. Then we like to take about 2 tablespoons of butter and drop those into our butter beans and allow that to melt. That gives them a nice silky flavor, and it also makes them a little shiny. So while that butter is melting, I'm just gonna go over here and I'm just gonna strip off some of that ham hock to put it back in there. Well, I'm gonna need a knife. So we just tend to just cut it away, and then we'll put it back into the butter beans or the peas. I like doing this with butter beans and with peas. And then what I'll do is I'll put the bone portion back in too, so that it can sit in there with the butter beans. And it will continue to shred. So like on Sunday mornings, whenever I make butter beans, I do it before church, and then I will, you know, lock the lid back in place and allow them to sit. These things, even not plugged in with that seal in there, will hold that heat very well. So they'll still be hot, and then all of this ham hock meat will kind of have shredded, be able to shred a little bit because that liquid is super hot. And there you have it. Probably the easiest and most efficient way to cook fresh frozen vegetables in a flash, and they don't turn to mush. That 4-minute cook time is plenty. They're not hard, they're not too soft, they are everything that you want in your fresh frozen vegetables. I'm gonna give them a taste, but they're hot. Perfect. They have just enough chew to them that they're not mushy. They're plenty salty using that vegetable broth and the salt that we put in there. Not to mention they have that smoky flavor that comes from that ham hock. So feel free, if you're watching your pork intake, you can also do this with a smoked turkey leg or a smoked turkey wing, and those are easily found in your butcher department, and it really adds a lot. I'll use the ham hocks or the turkey wings and turkey legs whenever I do cabbage, collards, turnips. So I tend to buy like the 2 or 4 pack of them and then just wrap them up real good, put them in a freezer bag, label it, and keep them in the freezer. Because you can also put those in frozen as well. with the peas or butter beans or anything like that. So we hope that you'll try this butter bean recipe using the trusty old electric pressure cooker, and that we hope you love it just as much as we do. If you're intimidated by this machine, this also is a good way to kind of dip your toes in the water. It's a short cook time, so it doesn't take long, and you're not having to constantly watch it for a long period of time waiting for something to happen. So it will really boost your confidence level. So we urge you, if you've been on the fence about trying it, give it a try with some peas or butter beans that you have put up back in the summer. So as usual, this recipe, like all of our others, can be found over at thebutteredhome.com. We would really appreciate it if you gave our website a visit. All of our recipes are free and printable over there, and we welcome you to come in our web house anytime you want to. Also, if you're not already, make sure that you're following us on all of our social channels. We have a lot of fun on all of our channels, and we would love for you to be a part of that fun. And as always, if you want all of our videos in one convenient place, head over to YouTube and search for The Buttered Home. And then when you find us, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified when we drop new videos like this one. Y'all have a great day. I got to finish up the rest of my dinner here, and we will see y'all next time. From the Buttered Home to your home, we love y'all. Bye.